Today on this Gasoline Alley, we're going to be talking about replacing motor mounts. What I have right here is a stock Focus motor mount. This actually came from my 2012 Focus I had a few years ago. And instead, for my Focus ST, which does have a nicer motor mount than what you get here, we're going Mountain Tune. Looks pretty nice. So this thing right here, if you take a look at it, is really nice looking. You can see the genuine parts, but basically the main difference is you go from a motor mount with some openings like we got there to something like this. Well, let's go ahead, start the install onto the car. Now to start the install for installing that Mountain Tune motor mount, all you need to do is lift the car up. This is a relatively easy install process. It's not really a big deal, but you do want to get the car up. You can do this on jack stands. I'm just fortunate enough to be able to use a lift here. So we're going to lift the car up. I'll show you what's underneath and get it taken care of. Alright, we now have the car up on the lift, and the first thing to do to install this is actually going to be taking down the cover, the little aero cover for the motor here. And that's because your motor mount is actually placed roughly right about here. So to be able to get at that, we've got to be able to pull this down. To pull it down, all you're going to need is a nice T30 Torx. Now that that's out, you can see where the motor mount goes. So, new motor mount is going to go right here. This actually comes down, and you can see there's two bolts holding this on. Now, because of the shape of the bracket that attaches to the motor, we're going to need to be able to pull that off as well. So let me get the sizes, get going. So to remove these two bolts, you're going to need a 15 millimeter impact. Bolt's going to come right out. Those two bolts out. Now, if you look to the side here, we're actually going to have three 13 millimeter nuts that we want to take off. This is where it actually attaches the downpipe support. So that goes on, and then we've got one more snugged up right in back here. Last bit is, you take off the support here. There we go. The whole exhaust support comes off, and with that, we're left removing these two 15 millimeter nuts. Just like that, this will come off. And finally, on the back side of the factory roll restrictor, you've got your final 15 millimeter. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at our factory roll restrictor. So this is the roll restrictor that comes with the car. This is actually nearly identical to what you get in a Focus Electric. I know that because that's the mount that I actually upgraded my 2012 standard Focus from. So this has ungodly amounts of play. You then have this guy, which is solid but still a soft rubber. And now we're going to be replacing it with the Mountain Tune rear mount, made out of aluminum, just like these guys, but with a solid bushing here. So this is what's going to go right back into the car. Now, this was the mount that was up there we had to take off, and that's actually what connects these two together. So this goes onto the transmission, and then this one is actually mounting to the frame. So all we have to do to put this back together is go in reverse order. slide it right back in. Get these guys started back here. Remember, these are our 15 millimeter ones. And we're going to get these three 15 millimeters torqued up to 45 foot-pounds. Take your factory nuts that came down from the bottom, and then we're going to set that one to 70 foot-pounds. There we go. Last up, we've got our new Mountoon hardware, and grab your 19 millimeter to tighten up. This is going to 70 foot-pounds as well. There we go. And there we are. Motor mount's back installed. What we have left is just putting the under tray back on. Well, thanks for watching this video on replacing the factory roll restrictor. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this modification, if it's worth doing. And as always, click the subscribe button so you can see more videos like this into the future, and hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Thank you.